Okay, everybody, welcome back. I am now going to cover the Sunday, September 18th games between Team Overdose and Team Xenophon. I'm joined by Spy. How you doing, Spy?
Oh, living the dream, my man. Living the
Living the
dream. How
dream.
about
It's a
yourself?
a Friday afternoon, late September. Some crisp autumn air. Even though, from what I understand, there's a tropical storm headed your way or something like that. I didn't know they got that far up north, but
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be a category 3 when it hits here later tonight. So
oh,
it's
so it's not even a tropical storm; it's like a hurricane.
full on. Yeah, yeah, full on. So
Okay, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
the difference
should
between
be
a
fun.
tropical storm and a hurricane, I have no idea, but because I
I
don't
think
live
it's
on the
just
East Coast.
more wind and more panic. I think that's all it means.
Okay, well, there was plenty of wind, plenty of panic in these games that we're about to cover.
Oh, certainly was.
So, in similar fashion to the September 11th games, which happened between Team Empy and Team Father Xmas, this was sort of a draft based tournament where we had a long list of players, and players would be sort of divided up based off who showed up because this is kind of one of the lower points of the myth season, so it's really difficult to pinpoint who exactly is going to show up, and so these lists are really a way for to just divide everyone up regardless of who shows up. So the first thing I think Spy and I are going to cover is the draft itself. Um, well, actually, well, yeah,
Did you want to do the one-on-ones or?
yeah. I was thinking maybe we'll go for these one-on-ones to see who drafts first. I think in
Yeah.
the prior video I did not show MP beating Father Xmas in 2 out of 3 games, or wait, 2 out of 2 games to secure the first pick. But as it so happens, I capture my own games, and so this is the first game. Shout out to Walter White, who for some random reason was in attendance, and
Yeah. He's a great cheerleader, an excellent cheerleader.
yeah,
So,
and the rule basically was Xenophon was the host, so I chose the game. I chose just a typical Recon Deluxe one-on-one. It doesn't get any better than this.
no, that's the
This is
pure
game one.
one-on-one.
Why is my computer so slow? Okay, so I guess maybe just auto camera.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say.
Let me F7 up arrow. All right, so Xeno is at about 11 o'clock. I'm at 3 o'clock. Um, you know, this is just a typical one-on-one game. In these kinds of scenarios, I really just like to go planes. Um, there's no shame in going to the plains and just kind of walking around in that area, and hopefully your opponent will show up someday.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. Do you find you change your strategy based on who you're playing like one on one? Like if I don't know, like MP or Karma or somebody was coming in for a one versus one in this scenario, would you do the same thing? Like is it like a one size fits all approach for you, or do you try to change it up?
No, I have a dos. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this word correctly, but sort of a dossier on all of the various players that I've fought over the years, and I modify my style slightly based off
Okay,
who I'm specifically facing. I don't have a one size fits all strategy.
cool. Right on.
I mean, what kind of analyst would I be if I didn't have something like that?
Yeah, it's true. Just that you have
Okay,
a dossier
this
is
auto camera is
very
going
good.
to not work out well. So we have Overdose, hiding behind the hill.
Yeah.
Xeno, he is the high ground.
But getting in tight and close right away too, like usually one versus ones stay pretty like a little more spread out,
Of
and this
course,
is
of
jumping
course,
right into
Overdose
it.
draws first blood, which isn't surprising. And
Oh,
then,
and then walks right into a triple.
oh,
Uh,
there
oh,
it
going for the
is.
Zook. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice Zook.
So, yeah, I mean, it was really this ridge right here that Xenophone should not have walked on. I was waiting right here just for that opportunity.
Yeah,
I think he could have easily just kind of wrapped around on this side because there's not, from where I was, there aren't really any zookable angles in this area.
No, certainly.
And then
It
we could have
definitely
just
would
had
have
a
got it definitely would have got blocked if he stayed to like the right side of that. But that ridge is deceptive where you think that not gonna you're not hit by it or you're not close to it, but
yeah.
it's yeah, that was a perfect zook to
But the
nicely
but the
done.
thing is, if I were just like another foot or something lower, then there's a good chance I would have blown myself up because it would have shot right into the side of the hill. So
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, and
risky.
having for sure. But the risk to reward is there, at least to try it, since you're already lower on health and you had a disadvantage of being downhill, like you had to go for it. So
Yep,
nicely
yep.
done.
All right, so that was that
Game.
first game.
Yeah, good sportsmanship there. Nice shot. Thank you. No bad blood there. No grudge.
Yeah, these are grudgeless free games,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
or grudgeless games. Yeah, so Walter White joining Team Death and Taxes for some reason. I don't know why he decided to jump ship, but
Yeah.
the format was loser chooses. So Xeno decided to keep it on Recon Deluxe, but he upped the ante. He decided to choose squad. So now it would be 4 soldiers each rather than just one each. And let's see what happens.
That seemed to be Zeno's move. Whenever I played 1 versus 1 against him, that he usually likes to do like at least scout or go to like a triple or a 4 unit play, a game style. That seems to be his thing. So interested to see how this shakes out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We start on opposite sides of the map, so we both have the opportunity to, have plenty of, you know, time to pick up maximum RPGs. Overdose is really spreading out his units, getting RPGs from the starting piles rather than from the hill area. Xenophon, I think, is doing the opposite. He's keeping his units together, and
I think there's just going to be some RPGs, just raining RPGs soon enough. I think that's going to be happening.
maybe, who knows?
Who knows? This is all new to me. I haven't seen these before.
I mean,
So
it all comes down to how well you know your opponent, and
yeah,
one thing to know is it's a 8, or I think it was a 9-minute King of the Hill game, so time isn't going to be a huge factor, even though I'm trying to
going with one.
push
Yeah,
just to put a little pressure on the flag. Xenophon has all of his units sort of back,
Flag.
shooting that flagpole with an RPG.
there's a nice zook on the flagpole though. Really nice.
Yeah.
But this is kind of your move though with its multiple units is that you usually push in with one and then have the backups ready to go. It seems to be you're more comfortable with the one than playing with all like 3 or 4 at once.
Yeah,
From what I've seen.
so basically the opposite of a player like Karma, except I don't think I am as zoned in and as in love with one soldier as, other players such as Cryptos or
Yeah,
East
no,
Wind.
for sure.
Those players really only use exclusively one guy at a time. So
And I think that's just the older style of playing. Like when Eastwind came back for that first tournament you hosted, it was is like he was not comfortable. Like that was his thing, was using one unit at a time, no matter
yeah.
what odds were at. So I
So
think the
we
same for Crypt.
see Overdose is actually making a move.
Yeah, big
He's
flank.
going planes. Well, Xenophon, I think, is just happy to sort of maintain this position. We called this hill right here Camper's Hill for a reason.
Flag captured.
And I think he is completely content with maintaining this high ground over here.
Yeah,
And I also believe that Xenophon perhaps thinks that my other 3 soldiers are hanging back, ready to unleash a volley of RPGs in case he gets too close. I think so. That's why he's keeping his distance.
yeah,
Nothing's really
Flag
going on
lost.
here, but we do
yeah.
see
This
this
is
sort
a,
of flanking attempt from Team Overdose, or actually just Overdose himself. Now Xenophon is attempting to fire.
yeah. So the question is, did you push your units too deep because now he's pushing it all in on you?
Yeah, well, I don't think he's seen my units, so I think he still thinks my units are all on this hill, ready to RPG. So now I think he's really trying to make a move on my lone soldier here.
So is your plan? Were you looking to try to bait him to get him to chase your lone soldier? Was that
I'm
your game
getting,
plan?
I'm
You
trying to
wanted to
bait
come around?
him to launch his RPGs.
Yeah. Oh, oh, just getting stung there. Getting
There it
stung.
is.
There you go. There you go.
Xeno with the RPGs,
Oh, and it did it. Oh,
5
nice
But
move.
now-
Way to use that tree.
so my guy's retreating, but my other 3 guys are taking over this hill right here.
Yeah.
He's a bit
So now
boxed in. Those are some pretty poorly aimed RPGs.
Yeah, it's always tough to judge that hill, though.
But
There you
now
go.
Xeno, I think he's getting hill bugged over here. One of the soldiers is going to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was hill bugged.
And I think you just sort of get him like with that unit that was down at the bottom of the hill. Then you just killed off your right shoulder. I think just want to get him.
And then
Oh,
it's
nice
over with
Zook.
a nice Zook. 2 for
Yeah,
1
that was a
special.
Yeah, that was a great double boost there.
Once
Nicely done.
again, standing on the bad side of a hill. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was an interesting game, you know. Let me stop this here. You know, I mean, I feel like even though he had the high ground, once he fired those RPGs, he put himself at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though, of course, my 2 of my 3 RPGs were pretty poorly aimed, but
Yeah,
the
they
most
didn't do
important
much.
thing was to cut off his supply to another round of RPGs. I could have moved this guy. I could have maybe tutted my RPG. I don't know, but
Yeah. Yeah, you could
basically,
have shot that one. But
I think I caught him a little bit off guard and underarmed. So I was able to sort of get him pinned against this wall. You know, 2 of his soldiers were on this side, 2 of his soldiers were on that side. So, you know, he wasn't able to like unhill bug himself in time, and I, was able to gun down some of his guys, and then, some RPG action at the end. But yeah, so with that, it turns out that I would get the first choice.
nice.
And
And who did you choose? How did that turn out?
yeah, so, unfortunately, I think like last time, I had to really just take a screenshot of Father Xmas's list, which is right here. Again, I don't know how clear that's going to come out, so I instead put it into Paint,
Nice.
nice and big. So basically, this is we'll call it the top 20, something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, people like Raper, Karma, Kruniak, my top picks. And then, yeah, it just kind of goes down from there. But I think one of the interesting things is that a lot of Team Xenophon and my lists were quite similar, but a couple of noticeable differences, I guess, would be Empy selected number 12 for Team Xenophon, whereas for me, he was about number 22.
Nice.
Captain, a supremely talented player, fell, in my opinion, kind of low on his
For
list,
sure.
number 16. He was number 7 for me. Thalander, very solid player. He rounded, he was number 9. I don't know where, Thal was number 22 for Team Xenophon. So I think a lot of it, I think Xenophon's list was sort of, it was
nerds.
it was skill based. Oh, is that
Yeah.
Cryptos? Oh no,
No, it's empty.
oh that's
How salty.
oh god, that's
It
Oh,
just got
God.
so British in here.
What's going
Um,
on? I saw
yeah, and I
Spy
think with-
lurking in the lobby.
I think with Xeno's list, it's also like really who he knows and plays with. Like he probably hasn't played that much with Tal or hasn't played with him in a long time. So I think with some of those picks, that's why they might have got bumped down. The same Cap, that they might have got pushed down a bit, just because he doesn't have like any like newer experience or newer time playing with them.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, players like Thel, who's a super good player, sort of, I think, Silek, he's a good player too. Captain, of course, we just talked about him. They're really
Yeah,
solid
for sure.
players, but really it comes down to who he's played with. And I sort of similarly made a skill based list with with possibly a couple of
A few
exceptions.
errors, couple of errors in
Well, no,
there,
it's
I think.
perfect timing, Epi, that you're here.
Yeah,
That you
yeah, yeah.
can
So I mean,
I
talk
got a
about your.
little tingling that someone was chatting a bit of nonsense.
Oh, it's awesome. It's so good.
your spidey sense went off.
It was tingling.
Yeah,
Someone was offending me somewhere remotely on the internet,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
hiding
Well,
behind their screens.
it's the British
exactly.
superpower, knowing they're being slighted anywhere in the world.
It's outrageous. 22. I
Well, I
only put
mean,
you 11.
yeah. So I had to do double what you put me at.
Ah, fair enough.
But I mean, there were some emotional based decisions. I think on a skill based level, Gorilla would actually be a bit higher in my rankings, but I put him kind of low because again, this he was originally supposed to be one of the captains a couple weeks ago, I think, or sorry, some other time other than MP versus Xmas and me versus Xenophon. He was supposed to captain one of those. He said he would do it. Then he said he's going to go to a Buffalo Bills game in New York.
It's
And then
selfish.
last
He's just
week,
making up teams now as well. Buffalo Bills.
yeah.
Sounds made up.
And then, last week he said he was going to show up, and then he makes up this random excuse that he'd take his kid to some amusement park or something. So,
I don't even think he has a kid.
yeah, who knows? So, that was kind of an emotional based decision. But, yeah, Gorilla and Empy were sort of, you know, emotional based. But I think apart from that, my list was somewhat respectable. But yeah, do you either of you have any comments on the draft lists?
One person I thought I saw was like Brady or Pacer. I thought he'd be higher up on your list, just because he is pretty active and he has like, I don't know, he like when he wants to play, he can definitely play quite well. So I thought he might have been higher up on your list, OD.
I don't even know if I put him on my list. he might,
Yeah,
I might have
I don't see
forgotten
him
him.
there.
I think
I
you
was wondering.
did. I didn't put him on my list. I also forgot he existed as well.
Which
Yeah, yeah. But
is
anytime he's shown up to play, he's he's been there. Like he has like he definitely has some talent if he sticks around and plays.
yeah. I mean, it's funny because I PM'd Zeno and I was like, make sure you put Brady, Meerkat, and Glassjaw on the list just in case they show up. So, he of course followed my directions, and I don't, I didn't even follow my own directions. So it's more of a do as I say, not as I do kind of deal.
Oh, for certain. For certain.
But yeah, exactly to your point, Spy. Brady is a very respectable player. If I had to put him somewhere, I'd probably put him maybe somewhere between 14 and 20, kind of this area here,
Yeah.
because he is solid. I don't think he's really as good as Scratch or Father Xmas or Fell,
No,
but
but he's right there. Like he's right on
he
that
can
like
definitely
that cusp for sure.
hold his own. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I would put him in the same category as like Nasty One. Oh, there's Brady. Okay, I
Oh,
can't
there we
even
go.
read. I have my glasses.
Oh, he's
I didn't even
20th.
see him. I didn't even
Yeah,
see him there,
um,
um,
but
but
yeah,
I'm glad he's higher than Empty. That's
yeah,
all that matters.
Yeah,
exactly.
he's twice as good as me, or 2 times above me, whatever. 2 positions.
You
Yeah,
suck at math, buddy.
but
Hey, I've been drinking.
Um, but no, I think everything else, like I think OD, your list is like it's a pretty good balance of like who might show up and like actually like skill based. Like I would
okay.
say,
Well, one thing I didn't disclose is that I told Zeno to assume that everybody's going to show up. So I mean, it's really more or less
well,
a
you said the
skill.
same thing to me. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you didn't listen though, because
I
I
made the
gave you a
list.
list of 44 players, and you gave me a list back of with like 20, 25 players or something.
Yeah, and then I just said the rest are perfectly fine where they're at.
That's not how it works, man.
Oh, that's
I
just a
mean,
lot of
Empty,
names,
Empty
man.
followed directions. Father Xmas followed directions.
Although I
Xenophon.
originally did what Spy did, didn't I? I did send you like a list of 10 players, and the rest was I don't care. But then you sent me a list of big list of players who actually play, and then I did you a proper list.
Yeah,
Okay, so
see,
that's
so
my
if
bad.
Empty could do
That's
it, I
my
mean,
bad.
Spy, what does that say about you? So, who knows?
Yeah,
But
just I don't like doing what I'm told. That's what that's
yeah,
it.
He's too busy
these
scamming people out of money on bikes and
these
stuff.
rebellious Canadians. Yeah, who
Yeah,
knows? But
you gotta
okay,
watch
so
out.
enough of this list, right? Should we just get to it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get back to these dumpsters
Shouldn't
of
there be
games.
a couple of minutes silence for the Queen first, or are you gonna put that in the podcast later?
That'll be in
That
later.
was last weekend,
Okay.
man. That was
Yeah,
during
but we're
Xmas
still in mourning.
for two
It's at least a
weeks,
year of mourning.
a
So
year.
now that we've done OD, now that we've done the list, how do you feel that your draft went?
Okay, well, I guess I can go over it here. Yeah, so Spy, you were obviously my first pick. One thing that we did sort of differently compared to Father Xmas versus, or Team Xmas versus Team Empy, was that Xenophon and I agreed, in the anticipation of Karma showing up, I might add, that the first pick would get the first pick, and then the second pick would also get the third pick. So it would be kind of like a snake draft, but for one round only. And that was just that rule was created in anticipation of Karma showing up, because if it was like me and Karma, then it would make sense if like Spy, you and like Gorilla or Cryptos or somebody were on the other team,
Yeah,
just because of the magnitude and the game shifting impact that Karma's attendance has. However, what I will say is that he also had a game shifting impact by not showing up, despite
yeah,
him
for sure.
saying that he was going to show up. So, in kind of an indirect way, he really sort of ruined things. But
He's a
maybe,
wrecking ball if he shows up or not in any way, shape, or form.
yeah, I mean, so, unfortunately, so, this is a rule that I actually forgot about. I wasn't at my best on Sunday. But actually, Xenophon, I don't think he was at his best either because he was sick or something. But anyway, I took Spy first, and then Xenophon took Father Xmas and Scratch second and third. I think next I picked Paris. I think Xenophon probably took Walter White with the what would have been the fifth pick, and then I think Droll, and then Xenophon probably took either Meerkat or Obelix, not really sure. And then I got Frederick, who we're not really
Oh my
sure
God.
who this player is. Do you know who he is, MP? Or
I don't know who he is, but Meerkat said he'd only had the game like 4 days or something. And if you look at his account, I think he played a couple of reg games, maybe two days before you played.
no?
So at least his account's new.
Okay.
But he doesn't have much game history, so he's probably pretty new.
Well,
No,
thank
he
you for
seemed
that
pretty
scouting
new.
report. But
It's
it,
5 star.
it,
Five
it,
star.
it makes sense then that because Meerkat and Obelix, generally are not considered huge forces in World War II. Whereas Frederick, it kind of balances out. And then the top three, I guess, for our team would be myself, Spy, and Paris versus
Yeah.
Xenophon, Scratch, and Father Xmas, which, kind of on paper that seems like a pretty fair fight, I would say. But I would say that when it comes to something like Capture the Flag S2, I hate to criticize the guy, but Gerald is not trustworthy in a Capture the Flag game, and of course we have no
It's
idea who Frederick is. Paris, just because he has such high game awareness, and he's been sort of the one of the top players in Myth for for a long time now. I
yeah.
have despite him not being a World War II player, I still have no hesitation to put him on defense. Of course, I wouldn't put you, Spy, on defense because I wouldn't waste my first round pick on, a defensive player, and
Yeah.
then, but it is kind of interesting because it's 6-on-5. There's an inherent disadvantage, even though both Meerkat and Obelix, don't really have that much World War II experience. One of the potential game-changing players I would say would be Walter White, because again, he's not really a World War II player, but I would also not hesitate to leave flag duty in his hands, which
Oh, for
would
sure.
which would allow Xenophon to actually go on offense. Again, I don't even know exactly who went on offense. I just know the outcomes of these games. But
Yeah. Well, and Walter too, like he's come a long way in World War II, and he's a great he's a super strong reg player as well. So like his map awareness and being
yeah,
like knowing
and
when to support, like he's able to play that support role extremely well.
yeah,
So
and even aside those those myth technical skills, he really just is a good teammate, and his
yeah, for sure.
communication is good. And when it comes to a game like Capture the Flag, where potentially there's people sneaking around and that kind of thing, like you need someone who has good awareness and is willing to communicate easily, and that is Walter White in a nutshell. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
he could be a
exactly.
potential like game changer.
Yeah,
Because again, I think the top three, Xenophon, Xmas, and Scratch, matches up quite well with me, you, and Paris. That's an acceptable match. But
yeah. But then the rest of the team, like we were, like our supporting players were definitely outclassed by their supporting players.
outclassed and outnumbered, perhaps. Who
Yeah,
knows? Let's get into this.
perhaps. Let's do it.
All right. So this is game one. Again, I did we choose no unit trading? I think
Yeah,
so.
it was no unit trading for the first three, I think.
Okay.
I
Well,
think.
let's not give any
Game
spoilers.
on.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait a minute and then I'll pause, talk about the formations. This game, I gave myself the cannon. Of course, traditionally, the captain plays defense, but that really means then that Spy is the only experienced World War II player versus, any number of Xenophon, Scratch, Father Xmas, even though I think Xeno is actually, yeah, he's going to play defense for his team, it looks like.
Yeah. I
Meerkat
think that
and
was one of the
Obelix, unfortunately, are only being given one unit apiece, perhaps a unfair unit allotment, whereas Paris, oh yeah, I think Paris was a little bit late to get to his keyboard, so I thought he was AFK, so I took his units, but now I gave him back. So we see a pretty even disbursement between the guys. Let's So one thing to
and I
know
think
is that neither teammate explicitly gave out any orders.
yeah. Yeah, it was just
I
like
mean,
one of
were
those.
the other team on voice chat? I know Spy was the only one on voice chat for you, which maybe was one of your problems.
I don't think
Yeah, I
anybody
think
was on voice chat.
yeah, I asked OD to come on voice chat and he just ignored me. So
Ah, yeah, he does that.
classic. Uh
Yeah.
and I think like honestly, like I think with the team, like in hindsight, I would have done the same thing that Zeno did, where like
Ah, yeah,
Frederick would have got one unit and would have kept
give him some
more to
spares if he
himself. Yeah.
dies.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of I think that was one of the issues that we'll see going into these games
Okay.
is
So
that
so perhaps you're saying that I was too generous.
yeah, too generous and not on voice chat. I'd say those were
Yeah,
two
you need
stumbling
the voice
blocks.
chat nowadays.
Yeah.
But to be fair, though, I don't think anybody was on voice chat.
I think probably if you pushed for it, you could have at least got Gerald to come on. Paris maybe would have come on too. Spy was already on because I saw him in the lobby.
Yeah, but again,
Frederick,
gotta
don't know.
gotta love our boy Gerald, but sometimes when he's on voice chat, he ends
It's
up
tough.
being more of a liability than an asset. You know what I mean?
He's got some good stories, but no, I think it probably would have helped you.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'll if we had some kind of like virtual campfire session, I would absolutely be willing to sit there and listen to him talk. But I mean, this is go time. This is Team
Yeah,
Overdose
let's
versus
A
Team
hate match.
Xenophone.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's get this
But
game
anyway,
rolling.
let me just quickly talk about who's going where. So we see Gerald going with all of his units to the swamps. couple of units from Father Xmas, Walter White going planes, and then pretty much everyone else just kind of hanging around. Maybe they're going to go somewhere else, but they're sort of in a defensive arrangement right now. Same thing with Team Overdose. Again, Paris, I think, was semi-AFK for the first few seconds of the game, so he's kind of slow. Frederick, I gave him 3 units. He's kind of moving around, not really sure exactly where. And then Spy, you've got 2 guys going to the plains. All 4 of your guys are going plains, but you broke them up into 2 groups of 2. So what do you think of the dispersion of units so far?
I think, I don't know, I think having the, like, 4 units, like Jaw committing all of his units to swamps, I think 4 units might be too much at a time for him, so it's a tough way to start the game going swamps, where I think Fats with 2 units can handle that situation quite well. So, and I think just being at the disadvantage of players, like our team or like Team Overdose, that we didn't really have a presence moving forward to planes or mid or anything like that. Like we kind of, I don't know. I think we were kind of outgunned numbers wise right from the start. So you'll see it happen in the game that they just had that support right from the go.
Okay.
So
But the thing is, we do see Xenophon's team really just stacking on the defense.
yeah,
So, Gerald taking the initiative and sending some guys, it's not the worst thing in the world. However, I
but
don't know if
going right
Gerald,
through the water.
I don't know if Gerald actually notices Father Xmas.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
walking straight past him.
And
Oh,
now he's
here
gonna.
come the RPGs.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's an
boo.
excellent shot from Father
Yeah, it's a
Xmas.
fantastic shot, and that's what I was saying is that, like, the awareness that I think Jaw just gets, like, flag fever, so he just wants to bomb it to the flag right away. So I think his other 2 units are red or too close to.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
we see Overdose saying, Paris, help Spy planes, Spy don't advance too far, let my cannon work, Jaw, don't get too aggressive, swamps. Actually, he didn't really get aggressive at all. I don't think he fired a single bullet. He just walked around but now he is getting aggressive. It
and then
looks
3 people went by
he's shooting his
him.
He's
RPGs
shooting
at
at
the
the
cannon.
cannon.
Generally, you don't want to shoot RPGs at the cannon
Whoa.
because it doesn't do as much damage. We see who is this Spy losing a soldier, and there might be some counterattack going to happen against Tyrol.
And 3 people went by, so I think Fats went by him after he went through the water. So now we have,
Yeah, we do see a
there we go,
couple of
right there.
guys, Father
And they're
Xmas and
all loaded
Obelix,
up.
going into the backfield.
And right here, Par is playing like a great support player, like getting heals and
Oh,
everything.
that's not
healing
good.
up. Oh boy, here we go. Oh my God.
Oh, bye-bye ammo.
Right?
Oh, great RPG with grenades.
Great RPG, great grenade. Father Xmas,
He's on one. He's racking
yeah,
up the damage.
he really put a lot of butter on his baguette today, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah, his horizontally striped shirt and beret are extra crisp today for this game.
Yeah, so we have all kinds of problems. Attackers on all fronts, trying to
Yeah,
find a good angle that can cover sort of all the action. We see Frederick holding sort of forward position. We're holding this side, and then
Looks like
Gerald.
everyone's defense. Have you got anyone attacking at this point?
I
No,
do
and that's
not
the
believe
thing
so.
is
I think we were all defense.
yeah, we got pushed back pretty quickly. So, and then it was just almost felt like just holding on,
Oh,
trying
well, you
to
got Xmas there.
grind them down. And you can see, like coming from planes, that they just have waves of people, like waves of units coming through. So, yeah, the writing was on the wall.
Well, I mean, there's no writing on the wall. It's 70 to 65%. We're actually up a unit. So I mean, you know,
You could let them come to you, yeah.
Overdose complaining about the
whittle them down.
Ravens. An
Yeah.
epic collapse last Sunday. Just
Yeah,
a
you'd hate to see it.
horrible performance from the Baltimore Ravens, costing me money there. But back to the action again. Xenophon.
You were clearly
correctly-
focused on this game then.
Yeah, correctly
Yeah, getting
moving his
aggressive
cannon
with the
into a
cannon.
forward position.
Yeah. Which is a good move. Like, you want to do it. If you're able to push and control the majority of the map, you might as well use it as an offensive unit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Xenophon's trying to shoot my cannon. I might be trying to. I don't know. Might be trying to shoot these soldiers. I might be trying to shoot the cannon. Kind of shot the middle of that.
Oh. Yes, we have a unit down here going through the water, trying to do a little sneaky walk around. I don't know who that is.
Yep. Is this going to be the one that does it? Oh, he
Oh, boom.
bombed somebody.
Yeah. Big boom.
The cannon?
Yeah, it was an excellent shot by Xeno.
Yeah, so we're tied up right now, but it definitely feels like they're the aggressor team through this game so far.
Oh yeah, I think I was trying to blow up that RPG pile on the
Yeah.
planes, but
Yeah, not having that popped is definitely a disadvantage for the Overdose team, because they just have free range just to lob some.
yeah, I mean, I don't. You know, we're actually ahead by one unit.
Yep.
Whose planes?
Oh,
I think
yeah,
you just got zooked.
I just got popped by Scratch or somebody with an RPG. And that's like, once I got popped there, it was like, okay, time to back up to South Hill a little bit. Let's see, yeah, just set it right there.
5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I think it could have benefited us for me to take some of Frederick's guys. You know, he's really
Yeah.
just.
He's not even doing anything, is he?
He's got two zombies, and actually, I think he should really be on the front line somewhere. But yeah,
Because did you know, like, when you were playing this game, Odie, did you know that their cannon was right there? Like, their unit?
I mean, I sent a message. I need eyes on cannon. I don't know if anyone gave me. Yeah, I think I knew where the cannon was now, obviously.
At this point, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was hard to choose between firing at these clumped guys or trying to go for
Yeah.
the cannon. You see
Very close.
a friendly, I think a friendly fire RPG shot from maybe Xenophon. Not really sure.
That's the thing.
You
we're
guys are actually
we're
up there.
20%.
20%, yeah.
20% at this point. I think they had more units than us, or because we had the cannon still, but we were still in great shape here.
Yeah, still in decent shape. But we are seeing that Team Overdose's 4 guys in the middle are getting surrounded.
But we're definitely making light of it. Getting logging down.
One thing to note is that there's only about 3 minutes left. So, you know, if there's going to be some kind of exchange of flags, it's going to happen soon. We see Walter White making a mad dash, but very ill-advised, even though he does end up killing somebody. Really just kind of charged up that hill. Usually that would be suicide, but okay. Now we see Spy and Xenophon. Xenophon actually on the offense, with his perhaps one soldier.
Oh, nice crow dodge. Nice crow dodge.
Yeah, that was me. I
Yeah.
So
basically
you gave
just,
the cannon away, did you?
Yeah, it's brutal when that happens.
I basically, had an RPG, so I suicided him. I was just playing the math at that point.
Yeah.
We have, what, 3 soldiers? They have 2. I think I gave Paris the cannon.
And you took one of my soldiers at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think I took one of your zombies back here.
Yeah. But then this was the problem, that my guy here was extremely, extremely hurt.
Very
And
red,
there was
as
no
you can see.
heals. So I was trying to push with this soldier.
But that was a
You got
great
me a
shot.
Boop.
Great shot through the trees. Unfortunately, there's a minute left.
Yeah. So it was tough, like trying to push with. It was Frederick and I trying to push, and he was doing his thing, and then I was extremely red, so it just felt like
Frederick
definitely a roll
saying
of the
he'll
dice.
try to sneak around the flag. This is an example of a lack of game awareness
Yeah.
because there's only one guy left. So
Yeah.
there really is no advantage to trying to sneak around the flag. He's walking in a
this
straight
is-
line, unfortunately. Okay, there we
Straight,
go.
and this is yeah.
Minute remaining.
Oh, yeah, now we're both, and I think Father Essence is green at this point. I think he's perfectly healthy, so it's a tough one. A very new player and a very more experienced player than myself, but we're both extremely red.
Yeah, well, I mean,
So
we're
it's
seeing
been-
a little bit of dodging there from Frederick. I mean, once he got to
there's-
this color, he has been dodging. Oh, that's a bad.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
nasty.
It's brutal. Yeah,
But now we see
Sometimes it's
Frederick
worth
hiding
it.
behind the tree. I mean, there's 30 seconds left. He really
Yeah.
has to just make a suicide rush.
and I think we're all trying to, like, we all start saying it as well, like, you need to move, like, go.
Frederick saying he needs help. Again, he just,
Yeah.
I don't think
Especially
he
since
understands.
he's red. Yeah, and we're both saying right now, like, imploring him to get up that hill.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
you were so
maybe,
close.
maybe if I didn't throw a grenade, I could have gotten there.
I
in
think
time.
you would have had time if you kept walking. Oh,
Game
maybe not.
over.
I don't think so.
Did you throw a grenade?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking I can either just make a beeline and hope that I tag it and maybe just suicide stab him or something. Or, if there's not enough time, then I have to throw a nade and hope he dies, and then we would win that way.
Yeah.
I don't.
you do
It
have
was
those nice
kind of close
grenades.
because I might have gotten into range if I just kept going, but I don't know. Could have been bad judgment from me. I think
Mhm.
if I didn't throw the grenade, I might have been about here, kind of right around
I
the
don't
edge.
think I don't think you would have got there. Like, it would have been super close, like, as close as it could get, but,
Yeah,
um,
but sometimes, maybe it's just me, but sometimes myth, like it just knows when you're about to contest the flag, so then it just like waits an extra, fraction of a second. I don't know if that's
yeah.
ever happened with you guys, but like,
yeah, for sure. Myth
yeah,
physics.
it just knows that that's why the myth gods are they're who
Yeah.
they are, just because
And it
they
would've- I
can
don't know.
sense.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Good damage by everybody. Like, Fats had a great game. Like, he
yeah,
played
6
extremely
kills,
strong.
34 damage. This very good performance. It all started here with his 2 soldiers down in the swamps, taking Geralt seemingly unaware. Again,
Yeah.
Geralt did not return fire after getting
No, I don't.
bombarded with those RPGs. Instead, he just sort of walked through the water. I think he went about here, fired some RPGs
And then
at the
backed
cannon,
off. Yeah.
and then buggered off. I don't really know where he went after that, but
But yeah, Frederick getting more damage with Joel definitely hurts the team for sure. So,
yeah, and then you pretty solid
but yeah,
damage.
very
Paris, the
impressed with
legendary
Paris's game. Like,
Paris.
4 kills, 32 damage. He had more damage than me. Like, it was nicely, and he was on time with heals. Like, was definitely scoping and talking through the game as well, which is great. So
Yeah, I mean, that's really why Paris is Paris. It doesn't matter
pretty-
if he's
pretty
playing World
close
War
game.
II or whatever. He has the vision.
yeah, no, it carries over well. So that's the thing for being like being down players and
Yeah.
everything, like we still held it together quite well. So
Yep, so that was the first game. It ends up in a tie.
yeah, good first game.
All right, so now, just from my point of view, I'm thinking to myself, maybe if I stick Paris, or actually, why don't we just start this?
Yeah,
My thinking is, why don't I go on offense and I'll stick Paris with the cannon, and then Gerald can do whatever swamps, Frederick can do whatever, and then I was thinking that might, me going on offense might be the push necessary to get us that win. But we'll see what happens.
yeah, we'll
It
see.
appears as though Xenophon is more or less giving out the exact same units as last game.
And I think you did the same as well.
No, I gave Paris the cannon right
Oh,
off the
the,
bat.
yeah, but still, like, Josh
Did you
still
listen
got
to what
40
I
units.
just said?
Oh no, I tune you out as much as possible. But,
Okay, well, thanks for tuning me out on my own YouTube show. But okay, so
but no, I just mean like Ja got 4 units, Frederick got 3 units still. Like they're still, yeah. Like I know you said like let them do what they want, but if they, yeah, like having 35% of the team with them is tough. It's
yeah,
tough.
so
Well, you gave some
Paris
orders
is
out this time. Did you give orders last time? I can't remember.
Paris is complaining that he got nerfed, but I don't think that's
Got
the
a buff.
case. Me giving Paris a cannon and a handful of units, I think really shows that I put full faith in him. However, he considered it sort of a punishment. I don't really understand why, but anyway, with 1 minute, let me just see. I tell Spy go mid, then rotate planes. Obviously, Spy, listening to orders, he appears to be going towards the mid. I'll go planes, so I'm going planes. Jaw swamps, so we could see where's Gerald. We can see Gerald is
Not
not
listening.
exactly going to the swamps.
I would say the opposite of swamps. That's what I
Exactly.
would say.
And then Fred follows by Paris on defense. And
So right now we don't
Frederick
have
wondering
anyone
why
going
he can't
swamps.
open inventory. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I'm not sure.
Again, maybe he's new to World War II. Who knows?
And I'm just wondering this whole time where MP is. That I'm just, just wishing we had MP on our team. Would have been great. Would have
I
been great
mean,
for these games.
I think how we were talking about assets and liabilities.
Yeah.
When it comes to MP, it's hard to tell which one he is.
Oh, sorry. I was doing a mic test.
Oh,
Okay.
so you missed all of that?
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say, OD? I just came back and you was talking about me.
No, I said you're magnificent.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
And I just said how I was thinking through all these games, how much we just wished you were there playing with us.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you got one down. Yeah, I couldn't get back till late.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah. And so we see Paris correctly pointing out that there is no scout swamps. I'm saying Josh should theoretically scout
You
swamps.
did tell him to
Again,
go. I saw you typing. Yeah, you did tell him to go there.
All 4 of his units.
Where's he gone this time? Oh, he's
going to the
plains this
plains. The exact opposite of where I wanted him to go.
time. See, probably if you were on at least voice chat, you could shout at him a bit more to pay attention.
Yeah, who knows? But what we do have is this plains battle brewing. It's Scratch and Walter White. It's Spy and Overdose.
Pretty
Overdose
even.
with some RPGs, getting one guy. Overdose losing one guy. We're all putting down some RPGs, and it looks like
We're all just with a line of death there. Holy
nice little wall of death from. That's a.
Oh,
And then friendly
Yeah,
fire
Xeno's not
RPG maybe. Yeah, so Spy getting vaporized by
yeah.
a Xenophon cannonball. Excellent
Xeno
shot.
with the laser beam from North Hill.
Yeah, he's pretty good with the cannon. I think he's
Yeah.
used it quite a few
Yeah.
times before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's
interesting
definitely-
how he was so terrible in the what is it, the Calvin and Hobbes finals, and then all of a sudden he found some. Oh, that's not going to be good.
No, no, that's
Ooh.
why you don't want to clump your units.
Yeah, you don't want to clump your units.
And just going in through those trees with multiple units for most people is usually a quick death. So
Yeah. Walter
he's-
White with it. I think he was the one who threw that grenade. Great
Yes, he-
job.
yeah, Walter White played
And
really
now,
well.
now we
He's-
see Father Xmas with 4 units. He's all in on the
and that was
swamps.
that's why when
Paris
nobody went
can't
to
really
swamps-
do anything.
Nope. Game over, man. Oh, almost killed himself.
Flag lost.
And
Couldn't get back in time. Oh no.
yeah, Father Xmas able
So
to
you were
swipe.
actually even on percentages then, weren't you?
Yeah.
It was close.
What happened to all the units on the flag? Did Paris just walk them off?
Well, I mean, I gave
think-
everybody specific directions, and there was one
Yeah, it just
player.
didn't happen.
There was one player who was unable to go swamps, and if you recall last game, Gerald went swamps. So I was like, okay, well, why don't we? Because we basically fought to a tie in the first
Yeah.
game. So I was like, okay, let's more or less keep everything the same, except I'll go on offense, and that might that might be the tipping point,
Yeah.
and give us the win. But this time, Gerald inexplicably went to the plains this game, and so essentially one half of the map was completely unscouted, which even though I told Gerald to go to the swamps, it really is ultimately my responsibility to get some eyes somewhere in the swamps. So
Yeah.
maybe it was
Well, and
my
I think-
fault. Who knows?
Well, I think once that fight started happening plains, that just sort of got like lost in it a little bit. Like didn't really I find if you're capping, like once you go on offense and you're in the middle of a fight, you kind of lose like
Yeah.
say for maybe like karma, that almost all of us, including myself, will like lose a bit more track of what's going on in the rest of the field. So
Yeah,
think that's all that happened.
Karma has one of the, he has the ability to like split his brain in half, and so he's able
Yeah.
to like concentrate in multiple places at the same time. It's really
it's disgusting.
an
really. It's
ability
disgusting.
that I
Yeah.
just completely lack. And
Oh yeah, same here.
you know,
Same.
despite the fact that he's he never shows up when he says he's going to show up, and that sort of thing.
Other than that, he's
Yeah,
fantastic.
other than being a terrible person, he's a great person. So
Yeah.
yeah,
He's probably one of my most favorite persons on Myth.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
in the
exactly.
top two.
But in terms of this game, I think you and I, despite you getting shot by that very unfortunate cannonball, we really did kind of roll the planes,
Yeah.
even without Gerald's help. Even though he did get the most damage in the entire game, but yeah, again, so much focus in the plains allowed Father Xmas to sneak through the swamps.
Team
Again,
Yeah.
nobody scouted,
Game over.
and
And honestly, like, Pats didn't even have to let off those RPGs. He could have just walked up and stabbed the cannon and the game would have been done. So,
yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
again, I would have to say that the MVP so far would have to be Father Xmas.
Yeah, for
And,
sure. For sure.
He's really,
And he's doing the same thing. He did the same thing 2 games in a row. Like, he just went through swamps because he knew, like, I think they knew that I was probably going to be, like, you and I were probably going to have to hold down middle and plains. And then that just left Power to do the rest. So, I think they knew that, like, we can probably push swamps every time and get away with it. Because then if we go swamps, they'll just go plains. So,
yeah, I mean, and, honestly, my roster was a bit depleted, so I don't think I really had
Game
anybody
on.
to send planes except Gerald. But Gerald decided to go, or I
oh,
didn't
you
have
mean
anyone
go
to send
swamps?
swamps.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough playing shorthanded,
Yeah, for
but
sure. And it's also tough, like when you're, because I think we were trying to talk quite a bit through the games, and then like Frederick, Ja, like they're kind of in their own worlds, so it's not like we were just kind of talking to each other. It wasn't really going anywhere. So
Yeah, I mean, Father Xmas saying, "I'll go planes again." Perhaps he's unaware of the fact
Double
that he went
bluff.
he went swamps both
yeah,
games.
the French get very confused. It's the way it is.
I mean, France is so disgusting. Their plains probably looks like the swamps.
Yeah, that's probably true. But honestly, I'd cheer on France over Great Britain 10 times
Whoa,
out
whoa,
of 10.
whoa!
So
You traitor!
no traitor. No traitor here, buddy.
100% traitor.
Okay, so
I'll disrespect your owners.
pretty much the exact same setup again. Ja has one less unit. Obi and Meerkat both have the one unit again. Xeno is running 35%, and then everyone else is like 15 and 20.
Yeah, so this time I drew a line on the map.
Drawing for him.
Yeah, I drew a nice line there for him, and I told Gerald, like, stay on this line and just look for them.
Yeah.
Again, we see Father Xmas saying he's going to go plains, but he's instead sending two guys to the swamps. So, this time I explicitly told Gerald to stay on this line to scout for the swamps. We have Frederick with three
hanging
of his
back.
guys on the flag, not kind of out of
He might
position.
be
Oh,
semi-AFK, was he?
I don't know what he was doing. Paris.
You put him on defense again.
Yeah, well, I gave Paris the cannon and, two guys, and then Spy, middle rotate planes, and then me, pure planes. We see Obelix, the first one to the planes for his team. There's Scratch, sort of in the high planes, if you will, and maybe Father Xmas. Maybe he'll play two places in once, or two places at once. Who knows? Walter White and Scratch, maybe also going planes. So we'll see what happens.
yes. So it looks like they have 4 players going planes compared to our 2. So
Yeah,
yeah, we'll see how this goes.
and
But
we can see we can see Gerald already breaching the line that I drew.
The line means
and
nothing.
going right to that pile of RPGs. Just going right
Okay,
to
so
it.
we see a planes engagement here again. Father Xmas and Obelix and Scratch versus Overdose. Spy with a single unit from Paris. This is actually a pretty evenly matched fight, I think.
Yeah, just a good back and forth right now. They have a couple more units trying to come in through the trees there.
Father Xmas's unit goes down there.
And we got some good shots on that. So we are, like, Overdose is definitely controlling planes moderately well.
Yeah, I mean, when we're in the plains, we definitely have an effect there. Oh, man, you are a cannon magnet today. Frederick making his...
And Frederick is terrifying. Frederick is terrifying.
He is really asking to get
then trying
shot
to
with a
save.
cannon.
And then trying to say it right away, like spread the units, spread the units.
It's great that he did spread right as the cannonball was... He almost spread into a cannonball.
No. And I found he was right beside me, so I'm just trying to get away from him because I just
And
didn't.
he just throws a grenade.
Yeah, and almost got me with his grenade.
Could have been an RPG.
And not
window.
and not just sitting there.
Oh,
this is where
and
I
he, gets,
start getting.
he eats a cannonball.
This is where I start getting frustrated because it's just point and click. Just do something. Point and click. Help me out.
There is no help to be had.
No, we are lambs to the slaughter.
But no, I mean, I wouldn't say so. I mean, it is still pretty fair, and we are.
Yeah, you're putting in work there, OD, which is great to see.
Well, I mean, I think that we really have to be.
And this is
on
where I was saying to
offense.
you, back up. You need a.
Actually, let me
That's
just
where I
caps
start
lock
getting-
this. I apologize for not having caps lock on this entire time. This will give us a better idea of what's going on. Yeah, we see a pretty sticky situation here in the plains.
And I'm trying to get there. as fast as possible. There, I'll just shoot a couple RPGs to help.
Yeah, Spy unfortunately unable to connect,
Yeah,
but he does a little damage. Does shoot down one of these guys.
yeah, get another one.
Oh,
But yeah,
Overdose almost.
Boom,
Oh,
boom.
he goes down in the
Yeah.
end. It's now tied up. Drawl actually did make it back to the line, so that's I consider that a win.
that is a win. Still has 2 units in the green. That's a win.
Now it looks like Geralt and Father Xmas might be tangling in the swamps. Perhaps that is a waste of RPGs there from Father Xmas.
Yeah, Jarrell's best move from here is just to back up.
Yeah, he
But he's
really
not
should be
gonna-
moving to the high ground. I think this would be
Yeah.
a good point to stage some kind of counterattack. Again, the cannon should be pressing forward a little. I would like it to
Yeah.
be kind of in this area.
And I think that's just Paris's like not having a ton of time using a cannon, keeping it pretty close to the flag.
Yeah,
So-
or maybe, he just can't really, multitask that well, which is probably why I roll him when we play Reg.
Yeah, that's probably it. He's very new. He's very new. at
Yeah, he
everything.
just tunnel visions the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we see Geralt actually staving off this this Father Xmas advance, and now
Yeah,
Father
which is-
Xmas is the one on his heels, even though Geralt
Which is-
taking some heavy damage there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it just seems like a weird move like that to be doing the swim in the water.
Oh,
there we go.
Geralt's going to go down, but again, Geralt's actually going into the water, which if you don't know makes him slower. Oh, that's a great
Oh,
shot
yeah.
from Xenophon,
Great shot.
who has
Yeah.
4 kills this game.
Just racking them up.
And this soldier is probably going to heal.
And now we're down 20%.
Yeah, but it's really 7
Well, it's more than
soldiers versus 4 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have a pretty good advantage at this point. And
And that's how fast it can turn too, because we were really close and pretty much tied for a stretch, but then losing those couple units swamps, and it just adds up quick, and it can make the swing of the game happen really fast and aggressively.
yeah, exactly. This might be it for. That was almost a great shot from Paris.
And this whole time too, like you see it.
Yeah,
You can see
unfortunately,
Walter,
we
'cause there's
see
no one on
a
the
Walter
flag.
White soldier here. He's just going to swipe the flag uncontested,
Flag
Yeah.
lost.
and that's going to do it. So,
Yeah, pretty tough. Getting flagged multiple times, multiple games in a row, hurts. It hurts really deep.
yeah, I mean, what I was really struggling with was assigning roles to players. We really only had 5 players, and I would really only consider putting either myself or Paris on defense because, frankly, I don't trust Geralt or Frederick in a capture the flag game. So, again, Paris considered it a downgrade that I put him on cannon duty. I consider it a sign of respect because I'm giving him the responsibility of playing defense. But maybe I should have played defense. Maybe I should have sent Paris to the swamps or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, again, 5-on-6, kind of a tough matchup. But obviously, Xenophon, excellent cannon work. He got the old 7-10 split. I think Frederick was the victim. You might have gotten killed by one of those shots, and I think
Yeah, I
Geralt
think I
got
got popped
killed
once.
towards the end of that game.
Yeah.
So Xenophon's cannon definitely spreading around the damage. Scratch 16 damage. I think he mostly went in the plains. We had a pretty solid fight. I think it might have been 2-on-2 in this area. That was some good stuff. But ultimately, Team Xenophon was able to,
Team
or actually
eliminated.
Walter White specifically, was able to
Game
basically
over.
walk in untouched and snatch the flag. So great job by Walter White. Again, I was saying that he might be a difference maker, and
Yeah.
even though
Yeah,
I was
certainly.
saying he could have been a difference maker in the context of, trusting him to play defense, so Xenophon, Scratch, and Father Xmas could all go on offense. Walter White is showing that he can also be an offensive presence while Xenophon hangs back and plays defense. So, it's great sort of diversity, I guess, if you want to call it that, from Team Xenophon right there. You guys ready to jump into? Is Empy still here? Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I think
I'm
he
still
was
here.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay.
Yeah, they just had, I think, with what you were saying, I just don't think you had any like real play to try to improve the position.
Yeah, but
I think we were just,
so you
but
didn't
having
want to change
Glassjaw,
the
having
game type,
Glassjaw
OD.
helped a lot.
with that being said, we do see the first appearance of Glassjaw.
Game
So
on.
it is now 6 on
oh, it's
6.
even.
So now, we'll see if that changes things. To go back to your question, MP, I thought about perhaps changing it to something like AVA adaptive, because I think Geralt might have been slightly better at AVA adaptive, but at the same time, Spy would probably be slightly worse at AVA adaptive. So, and then of course Frederick, no idea. Paris, I don't even know if Paris has AVA. Not sure if he would be willing to even play AVA. So, it was kind of risky. I felt like, why don't we just keep it? I felt like we were always, just 1 or 2 steps away from winning. And I wanted to sort of get this squad an actual victory. But we'll see if that materializes. Let me just say, so there's a bit of, it appears as though Spy might be a bit demoralized. Getting flagged 2 times in a row is sad. We need eyes on our own flag. Again, I'm saying Jaw goes swamps. Fred, Spy, Par go plains. First game they sneak swamp. Next game they sneak plains. Glass go with Jaw swamps. Collective tunnel vision, 5 or 6 scenarios. Not really sure what Paris is talking about there. I feel like if everyone actually went where they were supposed to go, we'd be somewhat decent. But again, Paris was the guy playing defense, so he's the one who theoretically should be seeing the board in its full capacity. So who knows? But
Here we go. Let's get this game going. Let's see it.
yeah. So again, so we see Geralt going to the swamps, Paris going to the swamps, despite me telling him to go to the plains.
Yeah,
Spy's
this is
going
where,
plains. Frederick is going plains.
yeah,
I think this game I'm back on the cannon.
Yeah,
Father Xmas says, I think OD will watch D this time. He is absolutely correct.
yeah. See the French know, the French know. Yeah, and this is where I was asking because I didn't like Paris wasn't with me. I didn't know where he was at. And then so I was plains with Frederick, and so I already wasn't liking where this game was going right from the jump.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, we see
Here we are.
Frederick and Spy in the plains. Father Xmas is the only... Oh, there we go. We see some other guys. Walter White. Paris is actually... Ooh, almost a team kill there. Paris has taken the initiative and gone for the middle RPG pile. It's going to be up to... No, actually, he goes down. I was going to say it was up to you and Frederick. Oh,
Yeah.
now Frederick's getting pounded here. He's not dodging. He needs to move. Okay, there he goes. Ooh, you almost got the 2-for-1 special there.
Yeah, no, I saw it coming. I did a little do-si-do to get out of the way.
And Frederick's
yeah,
going to go
this is-
down.
And now I think this is where I'm gonna get. They're gonna push on me for my money. So
Yeah, well, I mean, you're surrounded. Father Xmas and Walter White, they have you basically dead to rights. At this point, it's really just you trying to take as many down as you can. Oh, that would have That would have been a nice zook if it fired. One of Father Xmas's soldiers will go down. And you are going for the suicide stab. Unfortunately, not going to get it. Meanwhile, in the swamps, we have Scratch this time in the swamps. Glassjaw playing defense. Geralt, not really sure what he's doing. Maybe he's going back to heal or something.
Yeah, so then
We'll
it's just
see
trying to claw that.
Hail Mary. Kill a
There we go,
half
nice
dead
cannon
guy.
shot.
Yeah.
Nice shot. Still counts. Still counts.
Yeah, I guess. But the team Overdose is down by 5%.
Yeah, so not pretty, a little bit less aggressive in fighting this game compared to the last couple of games. Usually it's been like 4 or 5 units per side in planes, and this time it's just 2.
Yep, and we'll see what happens here. I mean, Walter White, he's definitely showing improvement over the last couple of years since he started playing World War II.
Snipe someone.
And he's going to get probably you in the planes.
Yeah.
Walter White stacking damage. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we see Glassjaw with a couple of red units. He probably has to go back and heal. And so we have pretty much all of Team Overdose on defense, which is going to allow Team Xenophon to sort of surround our hill. Even though I don't see really any advance on the plains. I think who is this? Walter White and Father Xmas. They're loading up. There's a guy behind.
Nice
See
shot.
you later,
Great
Scratch.
shot by you. Toodaloo. Yeah, but I think this is one of the games where it didn't feel like the other games felt close. Like this game didn't feel, it just felt like we were holding them off for a stretch. Like it didn't really feel like we had them at any point.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were unable to get anything going in the plains. You know, Frederick lost his 3 units very quickly. Paris, you know, went right in the middle to grab that RPG. I mean, he was able to cause a little bit of, you know, a little bit of trouble. But, yeah, I mean, this is another case of, I think, people not going where they were supposed to go.
Yeah, I think if Paris went planes, it would have been a lot more even, like a lot more balanced. Just to have his support there, but like trying to take on 2 or 3 people at once. And it was stupid of like, I should have backed off more, but it was also, just felt like a no-win situation. Nice cannon
Another
shot.
cannon shot.
Just
All right, Overdose is on
dialed
fire.
Yeah, Overdose is the MVP this game for our team, for sure.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Who knows? Oh, see you later.
Yep, you said that at the perfect time. All right, so it's now 30%, 60%, but of course that 20% is the cannon. So it's really Team Xenophon has a two soldier advantage. However, from a position perspective, you know, they are really casting a net, so to speak, and
yeah, for certain.
we are the tuna that are getting rounded up here.
Yeah.
You see Father Xmas, who usually plays quite defensively, he's taking the front lines here.
And this is a tough thing here, is that because we had 30%, so all of our soldiers, like almost all of our units, went forward on this front hill, and then they had free range to come up the side that you'll see coming up here.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, all these guys are taking some massive damage. I've got to kill this Father Xmas guy.
I assume he's suiciding from rushing you. Do you have an RPG, that guy?
Do you see
This one?
Oh, do you see what's happening here?
Yeah, the one that was chasing you.
And then we see Overdose, or not,
So
Spy
pulling-
rather. Spy
Yeah,
is getting
calling
rushed by
flag.
Walter White. It's 2-on-1.
And all
These three
of our
soldiers are
guys-
really trying to chase down this red soldier. Spy making some strange noises. Hedjigal
Yeah,
speaking Danish or something.
yeah, that's Danish for help. And this is where
Oh.
Walter shoots me through the flag. Right
Flag
there.
Ooh,
captured.
yeah.
Yeah, see? I was bamboozled by that.
But again, that's Walter White
Yeah.
being tricky.
Yeah, that's a sneaky Walter White with the myth gods playing on his side.
Yeah, and
So-
usually you can't even fire that close.
No, that's what I mean. I was boggled by it. But then everything about these games were boggling me. So it's
Yeah, well,
just a strong push, another strong push by them. Like they saw that there was a gap and they took it. That's what it came down to. So well played.
yeah,
Well
yeah.
played,
Father Xmas. I think his strategy of having like two players in the or two soldiers in the swamps, two in the plains, gives him that vision that we did not have. And so, even just sending a single soldier, maybe taking more of Frederick's units, just giving him like one or two, kind of like what Xenophon was doing, and then just send some zombies to the swamps and the plains just for scouting purposes. That might have changed things. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
But also, over 20 damage from scratch, so good job from him. Even though 5 losses, kind of high, but yeah, I mean, Gerald Toad 4 kills, no losses. Good job for him. Yeah.
Team eliminated. Game over.
No, they just had they were just supporting each other really well. They were going where they needed to go just to control the game. So, yeah, another strong game.
Yeah,
Another strong
and I
game.
think Walter White really is proving to be a difference maker, and the format of the draft. The second player gets the second and third pick, which is Father Xmas and Scratch. That is proving to be a difference maker as well. So yeah.
Oh God. Sorry. Go smooth.
All right. So as it stands, I think it's 3.
You won a game yet? I don't think
No,
you
no.
have. I mean,
Yeah, it's
did
3
did you win
games
any?
to none, with 1 tie.
Yeah. So this is the
Oh, damn.
decider.
And so, in a moment of inspiration, I decided to say no unit trading. So that is the one major
Game
leap
on.
of game change that I chose, was the exact same thing but with no unit trading. I am saying Spy, Paris, Plains, Walter White, share these magic bullets. Okay,
Nope.
thank you. Gerald Glass Swamps, Fred mid, then rotate. So, I think this is more or less the same strategy that we've been using.
Yeah, for sure.
Perhaps, trying the same strategy while losing every single game may be indicative of, what was going on. Xenophon, he's doing the exact same thing as well. So, who knows? But
Yeah, see how it goes again. I think when we started each game, it was just tough to see Frederick with 15%. It was just tough to see.
yeah, I mean, I guess I could have been less generous and given Frederick, 1 soldier. But then again, we saw Glassjaw, who, I probably would have given 1 soldier to. We saw him get like 17 damage last game. So you never
Yeah.
know. You never know like what someone can do unless you throw them in the deep end, so to speak. And again, these tournaments are not really consequential, I would say.
No, for
so,
sure. Definitely.
I was just being casual.
Just being super casual.
We see Spy, Paris.
This is where it starts going.
Spy and Paris actually going to the plains. That's a great job on their parts. Drawl, Frederick,
Or just
Glassjaw.
death parade going swamps.
They are all kind of clumped together. But again, without a cannon, that's not really going to matter much. Paris losing a soldier in the plains. Maybe I should have sent a couple of guys to the plains to help out. Not really sure.
Yeah, because then we're outmatched. Outnumbered planes, so.
Yeah, there are 3, 4, 5, 6 soldiers in the plains versus you, and Paris is retreating. So it's really
And
just,
so it's me.
yeah, I feel like you're not gonna have a great time in the next couple of seconds.
No, it's
Yeah, you're getting
But-
down there.
yeah.
But you know, Paris, I don't know if he would have made much of a difference. Yeah, I mean, Paris could have tried to push in order to save you, but at the same time, I think it was kind of wise on his part to just write off your 2 soldiers and
Yeah.
sort of
Oh,
back
yeah.
up a little bit. So
Yeah, I agree. There was no, because they sort of enveloped him there, so I think it's 5 against 2, so there's no way. They were just good at losing more units if he came up to try to help there.
but now we do see a counteroffensive. Again, Frederick
Frederick.
deciding to
Oh,
clump his
Frederick.
units.
Just stressing me out.
There's no cannon though. I mean, there are grenades and stuff, but at least there won't be like a triple kill grenade ball. But yeah, we do see a counterattack from Team Overdose. And they appear to be doing a little bit of killing. So this is Scratch, Meerkat, and Walter White against Frederick, Glassjaw, and Spy. And it looks like Frederick, Glassjaw, and Spy are taking control of this battle. It's 5-on-3 right now, 5-on-2 right now. And I think Meerkat and Walter White might go down here. Walter White with a grenade throw, not going to get Frederick. But Frederick, or that might have been you, Spy, I'm not really sure.
I think that was me. I think I poached a
It's
couple
going
at
to
the end there.
get Walter White. So all of a sudden, Team Overdose is actually ahead by 1 unit. However, there is no sort of offensive presence. Again,
don't think
Overdose
there's
just
anyone
kind of sitting
swamps.
there on the flag, doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was curious to know what was going on at home. But the same thing, they had a huge amount of units at home just hanging out too. So it just seemed like both teams were hedging their bets on playing it safe at home, trying to conserve some units, and then just sending some scouts out. But this is how fast it changes. Is now that they have 3 or 4 units, it means you see 2 or 3 more coming in. So now we had to just leave planes completely because we were just outclassed.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
a great RPG from Scratch.
Great RPG.
What is that, a fire nade? Maybe Frederick picked up a fire nade, not really. Oh, what's going on here?
Just shooting himself.
Shooting
Lot
himself,
of fire.
throwing grenades at his own guys.
But I think that shows the quality of Scratch. Like any
Oh,
decent play,
that was a
like-
great RPG, I think,
Oh,
from
God.
Xenophon,
Yeah.
blowing up somebody in the middle. So, you know, Team Xenophon is really laying in some nice RPGs. Meanwhile, Team Overdose squandering away a slight lead there.
And I think that's what, like, this is where you were asking to be suiciding. Because it is like Scratch anybody. If you see a player pumping up the units, you're going to target them. That's just the way it is. You can take advantage of that.
Oh, another RPG there from Father
Boy,
Xmas.
oh boy. Boy, oh boy.
They are throwing some nice RPGs.
Well, and that's the thing, like, you see if everybody's lined up, pumped up together, you just rain lava and things that you're gonna,
Yep, exactly.
then you have that benefit of the luck of the draw for you.
Yeah, I think this is the point where Overdose says that he's had enough, and this
Yeah.
might be where he initiates some kind of counteroffensive. Yeah, there we we go. We see a nice spread of RPGs there.
minutes remaining.
Yeah.
Blows up 2.5 people.
And it is, we're up 10% as well. Like, they are aggressive, but now we're up. And they keep pushing. Like, they see soldiers still coming in, but they're just pushing more and more.
Yeah, and I think they were starting to run out of guys. So it's now 50 to 35%. So, you know, again, Overdose with 1, 2, 3, 4 kills there.
You finally gave a unit to Spy as well.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
made him wait.
I gave away all.
You had 4 guys.
I
I
gave
saw,
away like
and then-
3 of my units.
Oh, you gave most of them away. Very nice,
Yeah.
Captain.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
maybe
nice, yeah.
again, maybe I'm too generous because I gave one to Spy, Paris, and maybe Gerald.
Yeah, you made a mistake with one of those.
Maybe you should have kept at least 2 yourself. But
We see
Flip
Scratch
someone,
getting
you do good
surrounded in
damage with two.
planes. And now Xenophon
and
is...
you guys are up now.
Yeah. Father Xmas saying that they should all play defense, which isn't a bad strategy. Again, there's about 3.5 minutes left. Blast Jaw and Spy trying to take down this Xenophon soldier. Meanwhile, we see Paris scouting out the enemy flag. Scratch saying that was a stupid push.
Yeah, Scratch isn't a big talker, but he's usually pretty accurate when he says something.
I mean, if they hadn't have all died, it would have been a great push.
Well, Frederick, rest in peace, brother.
Paris throwing a wild nade there.
And this is where we start to try to push. And yeah, if we did it together, it would have gone a lot better than how it did.
Yeah, we see Paris running for his life, but at the same time, he is trying the attention of 2 soldiers, Xenophon and Scratch, basically the 2 best players of Team Xenophon. So, you know, to see what's going on in the plains, we should be seeing some killing going on. Meanwhile, we see Overdose going right up the middle. He could surround Xenophon and help out Paris, but maybe he's going for glory. Who knows? Oh, now he sees Xenophon coming to try and surround Overdose. I think Overdose just going for the stab.
Yeah.
No
Hate
RPG.
to see it. Hate to see it. And now we're down like a minute, almost a minute and a half. And 2 out of the 4 of our units are pretty hurt. And we're still trying to push. So yeah, Paris is red, one of my units is red. And now
Yeah,
we're trying to push
and,
uphill. And we have 2 soldiers at home. So it's...
I think we only have eyes on 4 soldiers right now, which is why we didn't all go. Because this one guy in the back, I don't think we saw him.
Just a terrible RPG, but we did. And then yeah, you see this is what happens is that Paris goes try to, I think, pass off try to punish heal, and then it's just and they're
Ooh, nice shot there.
push. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so now we see 3 on defense.
Yeah, and they're
but
just
we-
healing
but
up
we
over
see-
and over as well. Which
We
is a
see
great team
Frederick
support.
disengaging
Yeah,
from the battle.
and so they're just
everyone's-
hanging out. I
Everyone
don't know what
is
they're doing.
shouting. Paris, who's usually cool, calm, and collected, saying,
Yeah.
"What a joke!"
30 seconds.
And so that's the thing. So I'm trying, like, with 20 seconds, and they're just healing so well. So any progress I'm getting, they're already like stifling it.
Yeah, great
yeah, I'm just
job.
gonna get rolled right
great
here.
job by Obelix
Yeah,
really keeping
there we go.
the health of the players high.
Yeah, he always grabs heals, doesn't he?
And then Overdose, I have no choice but to make a beeline for the flag. Again, I
That's all you
throw a
can do.
grenade. I am
You get
able
to
to
that
contest
one.
it,
Oh, you did contest.
Yeah, but then that's that.
but
He
yeah.
died.
So I mean, if that nade were to by some miracle kill Scratch, we would have won that game. But again, you know, where was Frederick? He was mucking
I think
about,
look at
the,
my
the
last- if
plains.
you look at-
Unfortunately,
Yeah, if you look at my last comment there, OG, from the game, I think that kind of
He
says
has 2
how I
units.
was feeling, how I was feeling that game.
yeah. Who knows? I mean, maybe I should have taken one of those guys. Again, you know, I'm not playing to win here. I'm just, you know, I'm trying to market for the tournaments that do matter. Now, if
You're
Frederick,
for sure playing. You're for sure trying to play to win. You wanted to win. So don't
if
give me that.
Frederick wants to play in Zookfest or you know, the World War II, the main tournaments, then we might have a problem. But
Yeah,
you know, I'm not about to take anybody's units. So you know, even though he absolutely
deserved it.
yeah, but I mean,
And not trying to be a jerk. It's just how it is.
yeah, I don't
So-
know. But you know, to just go through some of these numbers, you know, the damages figure is very, very close, 94 to 91. Scratch, 6 kills, 34 damage. Amazing job by him. Use by 8 kills, 40 damage, but with 6 losses. So, you know, kind
Yeah.
of karma-esque numbers, I would say.
I just try to copy my man. That's what I try to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not the worst person to try to imitate. So, you
Yeah.
could have
Yeah, he
definitely-
doesn't normally die 8 times though, does he?
I didn't die 8 times. I died 6 times.
Oh,
6.
sorry, was it 6 losses?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Have a
It's
drink,
only
have a drink of
6.
water. Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, that
Have a drink of water.
6.
Hey, it's late here.
6 losses is a typical karma kind of number, but he'll usually
Yeah.
get like 8 to 10 kills. So, but okay, so this is the last game.
Last one. And this is where the
Whoa, some cool guy appears.
this is where the queen shows up.
Oh,
Yeah, I
he
finished
called
my
you the
burger.
queen.
Delicious burger.
Yeah, so now it is actually 7-on-6. Actually, but it's more like 6-on-6 if you count the fact that Empy doesn't really have any status. Doesn't really
Yes,
count as a person.
That guy.
Yeah, the British Empire has fallen so far.
Oh, we still got Gibraltar.
Game
Do you?
on.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the Spaniards will never get it back. It's ours, the little rock, it's ours. Got monkeys on it.
Oh yeah.
I was actually looking into like swimming across the Strait of Gibraltar. You can actually do it, and you know, I think it takes a couple hours or something. You know, there's a strong cross current, but it's doable, man.
Yeah. I believe
Gotta
you.
host some kind of Strait of Gibraltar Myth 2
Gibraltar?
tournament.
What's underneath it? Morocco, is it?
Yeah, it's Spain to Morocco.
No, Gibraltar is not Spain.
Well, swimming across the Strait of Gibraltar, yeah, you're
Oh.
gonna end up in Morocco.
You could do the English Channel instead.
I don't know if you can swim that, can you? Isn't that
Yeah,
quite a
people
bit?
swim it.
Oh, isn't it quite a bit?
14 miles at its shortest point, I think.
I think Strait of Gibraltar is like 3 miles, but English Channel, man, yeah, that would be pretty
Or
cold.
21 miles.
It's got to be a lot colder than the Strait of Gibraltar. But anyway, we see Empy.
Yeah, me and
Glassjaw.
see, we came on voice now, so this helped quite a lot.
Yes, we see
Yes,
Empy,
we jumped on
Glassjaw, Spy, and Paris, all planes.
I think we lost the first fight and then we came back and started crushing them actually.
I
I
do
think there was
believe
kind of 2 attacks.
And it usually does happen that way. Like it just goes in waves.
Somebody standing on the RPG pile there. That's not going to end up well.
It
Boom!
didn't.
Look good.
Yeah, Obi, say goodnight.
Oh, someone
Oh,
just got smashed.
Empy.
That was Empy.
I think was that an RPG landing on me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have the best look at the start.
So now we see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 soldiers. Oh, someone just got exploded. Giral getting massacred by
Dummied.
some Xenophon RPGs probably. But instead of retreating, he actually walks towards the enemy.
Yeah, this is a problem.
Now he's going to get surrounded. Unfortunately, he gets shot again. You know,
I don't even know if you can say unfortunately to that.
usually when soldiers get wounded, they run backwards and try and heal, but instead Giral runs towards the enemy.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta
now,
respect the hustle.
now the tide has really shifted in favor of Team Xenophon, who has Walter White, Scratch, and Father Xmas in the plains. Spy, Paris, just Spy and Paris. Oh, one extremely red MP soldier kind of
I run
in the back, you know, letting everyone else die before him.
Well, they're getting distracted by this red guy, so it's a tactic.
Oh, nice nade there from Spy, doing a little damage to Father Xmas. But at this point, I think Spy is really going to get kind of trapped in this corner here.
Yeah, I'm done.
We'll see how many soldiers he can take away. Meanwhile, we see Giral Toad again right up the middle. Not sure what his game.
Not sure what he's gonna do. One unit against
Well, actually,
four,
it's 2.
5 defenders. Or they both is.
I think he might have used a heal there. I'm not. Yeah, so you're basically getting destroyed here. You actually bring down one of them, so that's good. But you're gonna get gunned down. Glassjaw with a soldier. Maybe a nice RPG. Very, you know, does orange damage. That's good. So Glassjaw actually knows what he's doing, so that's good to see.
Yeah, he's competent, which is great.
Oh, Frederick dropped, didn't he?
Yeah, he's gone. I wasn't trying to sugarcoat how I was feeling about this game. Sorry to say, I wasn't trying to be a downer.
And we see, you know, this plane's counterattack doing quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, it is 7 against 1, because MPU just went down.
I just died. Yeah, I think that was my guy.
Nice RPG support. They do a little bit of damage again.
That
But
was
it's
me.
tough to
Yeah,
get
I
those-
could have aimed that a bit better. But yeah, all these guys are orange, so we do see a Giral. He always seems
Dodge
to
is
have
going
units.
for it.
He has 2 more units. How many units did I give him?
Who's giving him all these units?
Who knows? But,
Who knows?
But yeah, we see this, you know, sort of a backbone forming here that is not going to give way to these orange soldiers.
Yeah, so I think we counter now pretty well. And,
This is where
well,
we
I think
start
we
to push
kill
back.
most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are definitely on their heels now. We'll see if who is this? Glassjaw, Paris, and Spy. We'll see how aggressive they want to get, because at the end of the day, it is 80 to 60, so there's a bit of a disadvantage there. That looked like it landed right on his head, but somehow he's still alive.
Varys is one tough combo. He's a tough dude.
He is tough. So it is 5 on 4. Probably should just be going in for some kind of rush. Overdoses join the planes too.
Yeah, nice push by
This
OG.
may have been a problem, though.
And they start countering as well. Like
And now Giral Toad is rotating to the planes.
Oh,
And
they
now
have 5 more
Xenophon
coming
with
in.
4 of his units are going. So this is
Yeah.
an all-out planes fight right here.
Yeah, so Jaw is up
Oh, look,
against
it's
it.
tied up now as well. Oh, well, it was. Briefly.
Nice job.
Nice stabbing from Giral there.
Yeah, Jaw got 2 of those units. Or Xeno's units, however you say it. So yeah, we're up by 1. Up by 1.
5 minutes remaining.
But now it looks like Team Xenophon has just too many reinforcements. They just keep
Yeah, just
piling
taking
in.
over. And I think that's what was happening each game. They were just coming in waves, and they were healing and just like coming in waves. So even if we were holding and pushing a bit, we didn't have that same. They just outclassed us on like the support playing with the waves coming through. So, just well done. It's just well played by them.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what happens when you play with experienced players. You know, you got Scratch, Father Walter White, you know, some people who've been around for a while, know what they're doing, and
Yeah, exactly.
you know, they're not just you know, good, but they're also trustworthy, and you could, you know, you don't need to like micromanage them or anything like that. You could just trust them to do their part, and they'll do it.
And you're saying
Meanwhile,
D at this
while
point,
we were
D
talking,
at this point as well.
there is some counteroffensive going on, and Xenophon actually's units are a bit behind. However, Xenophon is
Yeah,
making
this
a
was
rush.
quite annoying.
Flag.
You walked off the flag.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was a
OD
grenade
had-
right there.
OD had
It
had
was
enough.
kind of,
It killed the first guy. Your second guy could have been a bit closer. Look, he's walked off it.
yeah, well, but
I don't know. I don't think you were paying attention. Were you watching football at this point? I think you said.
oh, you called it football. Congratulations. Yeah, I
Makes
was
sense.
watching
sorry.
football.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, I think you kind of let us down a bit there.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Because we were actually up at that point.
well, what is this we? I mean, as far
Hey,
as
I was part of the team for that last match.
no, you just happened to be on my team. You weren't actually part of the team, though.
Okay, yeah.
But
I'll
again, you
take
know,
my 3 kills
one thing
away.
to notice is that, you know, these damages figures have actually been quite close the entire day. You know, Xenophon obviously good damage with his 4 units going to the plains, closing out the match. Spy 6 kills, 32 damage. You know, good performance from him as well. You know, Overdose. I think I was really just playing defense the entire time, so I think I could have been a little more effective if I went on offense. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Frederick unfortunately puts up.
Yeah,
Quad
this is the game he
zeros.
quit. I think I don't know if he must have quit before he lost any units, I suppose.
I'm pretty sure I gave him some units. I don't know. Maybe he
Yeah,
gave him
you
some,
did,
Yeah, I
but
think
he
he dropped though. I think
he
just
dropped the game.
Flag lost.
but
But yeah,
Eliminated.
I don't know. It's tough because we were
Game
like when you looked
over.
at the stats, they were overall they had 2 more damage than us that game. So I think I'm not sure what happened with defense, but I think we could have. That
It
would have
was
been.
American football. That's what happened.
Yeah, American football and margaritas got us.
It ruins
and
everything.
It does, especially the brain. Especially the brain.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, but I don't know. Still,
That was frustrating, that game. I
yeah.
think we would have won if you hadn't walked off the flag.
Yeah. Fact. But I don't know. Still good. It was great to have you there, MP, for
It
that
was
last
fun.
one. It definitely.
Yeah,
It was,
you know,
it was a big difference having you there.
I think if we played like
I think a few more games, we would have been able to turn it around, probably.
me, you, and or us 3 against like Xenophon, Father Xmas, and Scratch or somebody,
That
like,
would've
that
been-
would be a pretty cool.
Well, we were on The Voice as well then. I saw Spy when I came in. Spy was the only one in the chat room.
Yeah, we just started chatting right away.
It's like, what's going on? Why Spy alone?
I don't know. No one wanted to hang out with me on chat.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
But
And then we
anyway,
finally dragged OD on.
yeah, I get dragged
Yeah.
into chat a lot. But
Congrats
you know,
to Zeno.
thank you, MP and Spy, for joining me today. You know, even though these games didn't go the way I had envisioned, I will say at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because I still smoked him in the one-on-one games. Wasn't even close. And at the end of the day, as MP will corroborate, the one-on-one match is really the most
Yeah, that's all
important
that
one.
matters.
That's all
Exactly.
So-
that matters. It doesn't. The rest of it's just irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's just filler for the
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly. But no, still fun to get some games in. It was great to see Scratch back after a long time off, just playing like his role. Like he just shows up and is a strong team player every single time. So
Yeah,
great
I
to
mean
see.
the combination of Scratch and Father Xmas was
And then with
really, I think,
Walter supporting them
what
as well was
yeah,
a great trio. So
yeah, it was solid. So,
yeah,
you know, who in your opinion, Spy, would you give sort of the MVP to?
I think I'd have to go Fats for sure. I think Fats, that he just like he controlled. He just did the same move, but it just did really well. Like he exploited the weaknesses that we had, and just played well. He had big damages. Was like the top, like one of the top damage getters every game. Just played well. Like Xeno, great captain. Like he did really well. But I would say Fats for sure.
Yeah, and I would have to agree. You know, he was, you know, in game one, he was causing all kinds of damage. You know, he was killing people. He was stealing flags. He was, you know, in two places at once. I think he sent, you know, in the later games, he started sending guys plains and swamps at the same time. So I mean, he was all over the map, causing all
Yeah,
kinds of destruction.
it was great to see.
Yeah, I mean, hope you know perhaps his win over Empey's team a couple weeks ago boosted his confidence level, or really just got some momentum going for him to the point where he's starting to take control of some of these games. So it's definitely good to see. I
Yeah.
agree with you that the MVP was Father Xmas. Even though you only saw one game, MP, do you have a most valuable player that you saw?
From the replays, yeah, Xmas did well in his swamps. Got confused where he was going, swamps or plains. He didn't seem to know.
Yeah,
Uh,
but again, he's from France, so maybe they're the same thing. I'm
maybe they're
surprised.
rest flooded.
I'm surprised that you're actually saying some kind words towards your French counterpart because
Yeah, well, he was attacking someone who didn't seem to be aware they were getting attacked, so there is that too.
would you say that's indicative of the French style? Is they only attack people when they know that the
They're
other party is
distracted.
too weak to defend themselves?
Oh, definitely, yeah, that's the French way.
Okay, well
And then
perhaps
they surrender when someone fights back.
okay, well maybe
Sacre bleu!
we'll have to see Team Empy versus Team Father Xmas in a future iteration of these games. But for now, that's all. And you know, thanks everybody for joining and watching these games with us. And we hope to see you next time.